Which Feng Shui system is the best system? I get asked this question all the time, and you want to know the ultimate system to learn. If you want to find out, stay tuned. Now, before we talk about the best system of Feng Shui in the world, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notification. Thank you very much. Let's begin. Now, when it comes to Feng Shui, there are so many different schools. Okay, if you're in the West, I'm sure you heard of the Western school of Feng Shui. But if you are from the Chinese culture, I'm sure you heard of even more different types of systems of Feng Shui. There are namely 8-mansion system, flying star system, the 3-cycle San Yuan system, the 3-harmony system, the Xuan Kong purple-white system, the Dragon Gate 8 formation system, and all the other sub-schools. There's so many different types of Feng Shui systems. Naturally, everyone has that one question in mind: which is the one system that rules them all? Well, here's the thing. To answer that question, you got to take this back to ancient days. One of the original founders of Feng Shui, this person is called Yong Gao Pan, okay, or we just call him Mr. Yang. Some people call him Grandmaster Yang. Back in the Tang Dynasty, he was the one that escaped. We use the word escape because he sort of ran away from the imperial palace because there was a fire. We don't know why there was a fire. And he ran out with a few important literatures of Feng Shui, okay? One of which is called the Qing Long King, the Green Satchel Classics. So, and of course, a host of a couple of other books, for example, Tin Yo King, the Heavenly Jade Classics. So when he came out, he went to a village, and naturally when he stays in the village at that time, he used his, of course at the time he was like a superpower with all this special knowledge to be able to help the villagers who were extremely poor at that time become well-to-do, and they have obviously seen the great results, and then he had students. So it is from him. At that time, Feng Shui didn't have different types of schools. In fact, Feng Shui wasn't even called Feng Shui. It was called Ham Yu Hong at that time. And so he got two powerful students. Now, I don't know why back in ancient days, teachers are like that. They're always afraid that if they teach all to just one student, that one student is going to go up there and then become better than the teacher, and then, you know, overturn the teacher or some sort. So it's something, I don't know, like how Darth Vader would do something to the emperor, right? So what do they do is that this old traditional thinking is that I'm going to teach two students. One, I will teach just the type on landforms, right? The ability to have powerful X-ray vision, to look at how the mountain and water formations, to see the flow of energy in the environment. So I call this landform Feng Shui. I'm going to teach this student A. And student B, just in case, I'm going to teach everything that is not, that student A doesn't know. I'm going to teach him the powerful methods of looking at the stars, doing calculations to understand the flow of qi, but I will not talk too much about the landform Feng Shui. So, that is called the qi distribution school. It's called Lei Hei Pai. The other one is called Lun Tao Pai. So there are two systems. So from these two schools, these two students, after many generations down, later on they formed these two systems called San He and San Yuan. Sam Ha Pai, Sam Yun. They originally came from the same guy, and they even read the same book. But the problem with ancient Chinese classics is that you can interpret those words in, you know, probably 2 or 3 different ways, and hence the birth of many different sub-schools. It's from San He Feng Shui and San Yuan subsequently branched to things like Xuan Kong flying stars, right? This flying star system came about in the last maybe 150, 200 years ago. So before that, there was the Xuan Kong purple-white system, and then there was the Dragon Gate 8 formation system. So there are so many sub-schools that I can give you a summary. The summary is basically, landforms is like evergreen formulas. You do it once and you don't worry about it anymore. Whereas San Yuan, the 3-cycle school, you gotta keep upgrading. You gotta do it's smaller improvements but more consistent because you keep doing it. Whereas San He is evergreen. So you look at evergreen and you look at short-term model. So there are two different types of models, and the thing is, over the centuries, because China, as in case you didn't notice, is a really big country. So as the students branch out, they move to different towns and different provinces and different states, for example. every system have a life of its own. It started to have its own roots and own founders and own sub-schools because of different experiences. Hence, there are different schools. So this is very similar to how martial arts is like. All martial arts, as we all know, stems from the roots of Shaolin Temple. Okay, so all martial arts that we know today, Chinese martial arts, right? Even the famous Wing Chun, for example, right? You can have Wing Chun, Chang Kun, Lam Kun, all this. Originally, you can have its roots traced all the way back to the Shaolin Temple. Now, the question that people will ask is, which martial arts system is the most powerful system in the world? That's like people asking, which is the most powerful system of Feng Shui in the world? I'm getting to that answer now. And as you know, in martial arts, if you are talking about Wing Chun, it will be Yip Man, correct? It depends on who is using the system. If I were doing Wing Chun, you don't know what Chun, I will sure lose to you because I don't know how to do Wing Chun, right? So, but if you talk to someone who is an expert in that particular field, they will tell you that it's the most effective way because they know how to use it. And that's the same with Feng Shui. Feng Shui, every school, as you know, stems from one person. Okay, the original founder of Feng Shui, which knew that there was a yin and yang system of Feng Shui. And subsequently, there were great users. There were many famous users like Lai Po Yi, for example, is a very famous user of Feng Shui. You get this Sam Chuk Ying, for example, one of the flying star greats in the Qing dynasty. These are Zhang Daihong, the Ming dynasty, right? These are famous Feng Shui masters who have used their system effectively. Okay, so right now, today's world is a bit different. The best system to me is the ability to understand the discipline of all the systems and be able to deploy it in the correct manner. Now, here's my thinking of it. Okay, my thinking is this: because when Feng Shui is deployed in different areas of China, they have different landforms. They also have different culture, different people living different problems. So I've noticed, due to my global traveling, going all over the world, I've seen that different types of Feng Shui work differently in different types of environment. And because today it's so easy to access different schools of Feng Shui. Back then you cannot, yeah? You cannot just like, oh, I'm just going to learn from different schools. That your master will kill you, will immediately ostracize you from the school. But today is different. Today you can secretly go up to Google and just like download the classics. Those days you wait until the master, just before he died, like, I'm going to pass this book to you and you must not teach anybody. So that took a long time, but today, these books, most people for a living, they publish the book on Google, and so everybody can see it. So now, if you study different schools and you have an understanding, a real-world experience of going around, looking at different cases, meeting different people. Today I have students from so many different countries. The last time we had a Feng Shui Academy, students came from 54 countries. 54 countries, so 54 different cultures. And they learn the type of Feng Shui that is effective for them. So my take on the best type of system is, number one, you need to make yourself an effective practitioner and be flexible enough to switch disciplines for the purpose that you want to achieve. So it's quite similar to one of the greatest, to me, the greatest martial artist in the world, Bruce Lee. What does Bruce Lee do? Bruce Lee, original roots is classical Chinese Kung Fu, right? He studied Wing Chun, but in the end, he incorporated a lot of different forms of martial arts. A punch is still a punch. That's what he famously says, right? So in Feng Shui, water is still water. Direction is still direction, right? Orientation is still orientation. Qi is still qi. The question is, how do you get to the results? Now you may say, but if I mix all together, I get confused. No, you don't, because the results, the requirements are still the same. Everyone wants a certain outcome. Don't fall in love with the system. Fall in love with the results. This is most important. As a Feng Shui practitioner or as a life coach yourself, you're not going to fall in love with coaching. You want to fall in love with the results. Your clients want to see you for the results. They don't want to see you just for the coaching for the sake of coaching. So a lot of people don't want to do Feng Shui for the sake of Feng Shui. Most clients or end users don't even care what systems of Feng Shui they are learning. They just want, okay, what's the outcome? Will I have a better life? Will I be able to solve that, unhappiness in the house? Will I be able to get that harmony? Will I be able to reconnect with ex-lover, for example, or my career is at a very lost stage? Can I reconnect it? Can I find my zest in life? Can I recreate that passion? And you use the Feng Shui to get to the outcome. Whether you're going to use San Yuan, San He, Xuan Kong, 8 mansions, whichever system, at the end of the day, you need to deploy the right method. A punch is still a punch to get to the results that you need. So today we use this thing called 综合. 综合 means combination school. We take the best from different disciplines and use them in the correct situation. Much like how Bruce Lee have, sort of re-looked into the principles of martial arts. A punch is still a punch, whichever is effective and fastest way to get to the enemy. And in this case, in Feng Shui, we don't have enemies. In Feng Shui, we just want to make sure that you get the results in the fastest way. So back in those days when people are so hung up on a lineage, oh, I come from this school, I have this great-great-great-great-great-grandmaster. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandmaster has never done an 82-story building. Okay, your great-great-great-great-great-grandmaster has never going to do basement, shops. They have never done a subway, never done hotels. All right. So in order for us to be able to do this today we handle projects from resorts to township, right, to a 92-story building in Melbourne, for example. We got to be able to modify those techniques because the old style don't work in the current situation anymore. So to answer the question, the best method in the world is the most practical method. Use the right tool, no matter what school of Feng Shui, to get the results. Whichever method that gets the result is the best school of Feng Shui. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And oh, by the way, I have started a channel on Telegram, which I talk about, I give out a daily message on metaphysics. So be sure to subscribe to that channel on Telegram, and I'll see you in the next video.